This scene takes place after Coach Cullen's basketball team has just upset the first place team in a playoff game. Cully was booed during the game because he forced his team to stall out the shot clock during almost every offensive possession. I hate that too. At halftime, one of the parents from the opposing team confronted Cully at the scorer's table, and we pick up after the game on the street in front of the gym. Cully hears a vaguely familiar voice yell, "Hey, Coach!" When he turned around, he could see the silhouette of what looked like a stocky kid approaching. The bus light shining behind the figure made it impossible for Cully to pick up any details, but when the bus pulled away from the curb, Cully was finally able to identify the person. It was the nutcase who at halftime called Cully a chicken shit. Just like saying that in that kind of voice. Chicken shit. The guy had come right up to Cully and barked at him over the storekeeper's head. Unbelievable asshole. I love reading this. Okay. I told you I'd see you after the game, said the nutcase, who was wearing his baseball cap backwards now. Always got a tip. Hey, said Cully, no need to apologize. I've had to deal with bigger assholes than you over the years. Oh yeah, chicken shit, he said, and he moved in closer. Now Sean could see that the man had one of those flavor saver beards just below his bottom lip, which was beginning to quiver. You couldn't just play us fair tonight, could you, chicken shit? The guy wasn't yelling, he was almost whispering. Maybe I should have whispered him. Trying not to draw attention to himself as the crowd started to thin out. Cully worried that the guy might try to throw a sucker punch and that Al would retaliate by putting the guy in a hospital. But when he looked over to make a face at his assistant coach, Al wasn't there. He must have stopped to talk to someone while Cully was looking for Laura. Cully knew this was a no-win situation. He couldn't get in a fight with this jerk. The two men might have weighed about the same, but Sean had at least 4 or 5 inches on this guy. He could lose his job if he threw a punch, even if it were in self-defense. Okay, said Cully. We've established that you think I'm some kind of shit. What kind of shit was it again? Oh yeah, that's right, chicken shit. No wonder he got so many T's. Cully had his hands in his pockets and his notebook actually was tucked under his arm, but he's ready to block a punch if he had to. This guy had definitely lost it, and Sean wanted to be ready for anything. But the man didn't say anything, so Cully kept going. Be that as it may, he said, the game's over, so you might just want to head home. Cully heard car doors slamming and horns blowing, and kids yelling across the street. But he didn't take his eyes off the nutcase, who was now pulling a wad of chewing tobacco out of his bottom lip and throwing it on the ground in front of Cully. Cully looked at the ugly brown mess on the sidewalk and decided to keep going. I do understand your dilemma, he said, and pulled his hands out of his pockets. You never played sports as a kid. You might have even tried drama or been a cheerleader. I don't know. But now you're trying to live an athlete's life through your kid. Cully was holding the notepad now and gesturing with it like he was teaching a class. He wished he had a piece of chalk. And now that your kid lost this game tonight, you feel like a loser too. But here's the problem with all this. You were probably a loser before the game. And now, you're trying to blame me for something that started 40 years ago in a schoolyard somewhere. Nutcase had both hands balled into his fists, and he was holding them at his sides like a nervous gunslinger. One more word, he said, barely moving his lips. One more word, and I'm going to pop you in the face and walk away feeling better for it. Cully pondered this for a moment. He didn't think this guy could hurt him, but he also didn't want to be part of the ugly scene. Laura would not see the humor in that. But he also didn't want this guy to get the last word and walk away thinking Cully had cowered at the threat of being popped. So he went in a different direction. He started singing the St. X fight song as loudly as he could. Oh, red and blue, raise our banners to the sky. Nutcase now took one step forward, but everybody on the street was looking at Cully now. We'll fight for you, oh red and blue. We'll fight for St. Xavier High. Pretty good finish, huh? Okay. Now Cully could tell the guy was pondering taking a shot at him even with everybody watching. The guy actually raised his right fist just as a group of St. X kids jogged over and joined the gang. And victory will be our goal, and we will reach it if we try. Nutcase walked slowly backward, keeping his eyes on Cully's, but now a group of parents and teachers had joined the group, and Al Quirk had a hand on Cully's shoulder. And so they all sang together. We're going to fight with all our might. We're going to fight, 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 fight. Nice work, Jimmy.